Happy New Year's, nerds!
I like to
I'm
get
your boy Mike
shit-faced.
Dangerous, and this is Talking Shots in the new millennium.
I don't know. That's about all.
Sword chief, it's the return of the blade and slice shade, getting painted to my silhouette fades, immersing.
I could take this opportunity to reflect on the monstrosity that was 2020, or I could look back at all the amazing accomplishments in arts and entertainment over the past decade. But that's not what we do on this show.
Of course we're talking about the 90s.
Take a shot. Do it. Come back with Professor Dangerous to the year 1999. The Dreamcast just hit the market, the first Matrix movie is in theaters, and Californication by Red Hot Chili Peppers just came out. It was a good year. But like all things, good years must come to an end. I just realized I said good years must come to an end. I meant the calendar event, not the tire company. It's the weirdest cancel of 2021 so far. Down with Goodyear. They're stupid blimps. Goodyear's lit. Please sponsor us. I'm very hungry. Chronologically, the number after 1,999 is 2,000. And apparently, computers can't count that high. So of course that means the world's gonna end. Naturally. Credit card companies all defaulting, personal computers catching fire, anarchy in the streets, the whole 9 yards. Obviously, it's been 21 years since Y2K, and the world hasn't crashed yet. Well, not entirely.
So what happened? Where's my apocalypse, Mike?
Well, for one, the whole Y2K debacle, also known as the Millennium Bug, did have some genuine theory behind it. The earliest article expressing concerns about Y2K was Computer World's 1993 3-page Doomsday 2000 article by Peter de Jager. It was called The Information Age Equivalent to the Midnight Ride of Paul Revere by the New York Times. A little dramatic, but alright. The problem started because for mainframe computers and later on personal computers, storage was really expensive. We're talking as low as $10 per kilobyte. In some cases, that would go as high as $100 per kilobyte. Can you imagine having to pay $100 per kilobyte in 2021? A hard drive would cost... What is 1.E11? It was therefore very important that programmers had to reduce usage. Back then, programmers simply had to just prefix the year with 19. Since programs could simply prefix 19 to the year of a date, most programs internally used or stored on a disk or tape data files where the date format was 6 digits in the form of month, day, year. The double M as 2 digits for the month, the double D as 2 digits for the day, and the 2 Ys as 2 digits for the year. As space on disk and tape was also really expensive, this also saved money by reducing the size of stored data files on databases. What's scary is that there were actually issues that came about because of the year 2000. On January 1st, 1999, taxi meters in Singapore stopped working, while in Sweden, incorrect taxi fares were given. That would be like if all of a sudden Uber fares all had a $100 flat fee. On December 28th, 1999, 10,000 card swipe machines issued by HSBC and manufactured by Rakel stopped processing credit and debit card transactions. Stores relied on paper transactions until the machines started working again on January 1st. Some Dark Ages type shit. Around New Year's, I'd probably panic too. Although to be fair, I'm always panicking. I live in a constant state of fear and misery. Man, I miss Joji. He didn't go anywhere, I just miss him. In Ishikawa, Japan, radiation monitoring equipment failed at midnight. However, officials stated that there was no risk to the public, which was promptly thrown out the window when in Onagawa, Japan, an alarm sounded at a nuclear power plant 2 minutes after midnight. Man, I love Iron Maiden. Jesus, if there's anything that's gonna cause a panic, I'd say that was it. There were issues reported as far as March of 2000, and even more issues because 2000 was a leap year. Bugs caused by leap years are enough to fill their own video. What's interesting is just how many date-related bugs there have been overall, with as many as recent as this last year, 2020. Some software used a process called date windowing to fix the issue by interpreting years 0 through 19 as 2000 through 2019, and 20 through 99 as 1920 to 1999. As a result, a new wave of glitches started appearing in 2020, including parking meters in New York City refusing to accept credit cards, issues with novice point-of-sale units, some utility companies printing bills and listing the year as 1920, and the video game WWE 2K20 experiencing glitches. That one's oddly specific. Apocalypse years are nothing new. 2020 definitely felt like one. But I'm sure most of you remember 2012. A Mayan calendar predicts the end of the world in 2012, and then a movie about 2012 comes out in 2009. Yeah, in 2012 that movie became a comedy. Humans predicting the end of the world goes as far back as 66 CE, usually having to do with political uprisings and societies falling, which happened a lot back then. I think there's also something about mortality that fascinates people. There's something about the end of the world that feels so impossible, but feels very interesting. And this is nothing new in media either. Neon Genesis Evangelion, because yes, we're talking about Neon Genesis Evangelion, is about defending the Earth from the end of the world. And spoiler alert for a 25-year-old anime, asks if you would end the world if it meant no more suffering. Happy New Year! The craziest thing is that we're still feeling the effects of Y2K even today, and it goes to show you how far away we all thought the year 2000 was. It's funny how many sci-fi movies are set in the year 2017 or 2019. Here we are living in it. Instead of flying cars and teleportation, just me getting drunk on the internet. We live in a world where the people that made those movies are still very much alive. I guess you could say it shows how little foresight we had back then. Now, given the way that tech is integral to all of our lives, we're getting kind of used to this idea that tech changes every couple of years. I mean, hell, we update our phones almost every year, and even then we have dozens of updates in between. It's funny to think just how much that's changed a lot of the sci-fi that we consume. Scares like the Y2K bug don't really scare us in the year of our Lord and Savior 2021, because we've kind of come to terms with the fact that tech is always in flux. If anything, our new anxieties revolve around privacy, and rightfully so. We're long past the days of our sci-fi horror being about world-ending computer crashes, and more so about the very real concern of your webcam footage being found on the deep web, or someone hacking into your smart devices, or governments using your data inappropriately, or hell, denying you the chance to use the internet at all. It's kind of sad now that we can look back at the Y2K bug and laugh, because the tech landscape is just so more dangerous now. We've come a long way from using the web to check our AOLs. Going to the Space Jam website. On one hand, it's charming to think about what it was like to use a computer and the internet back then. On the other, it's kind of sad that we totally forgot how to teach computers how to count properly. Makes you wonder about what other world-ending foresights we just didn't consider. But if there's any statement of hope, it's that we've become smarter when it comes to developing new technologies and making sure it benefits mankind more than it hurts. Right? Happy New Year's, nerds! What do you think? Do you remember Y2K? I was 4, so a little bit, but not a whole lot, because again, I was too busy watching Land Before Time. Land Before Time is so good. Tell me what you think of Land Before Time. That movie's a masterpiece. Talking Shots is incredibly excited to be entering the new year. And as always, we love... Talking Shots cannot wait to enter the new year. And as always, we love hearing from you. So please, please, tell us what you think in the comments down below, on Facebook, on my Instagram, on Reddit. We have a Reddit, which no one uses, so please use it. It's a great place for discourse. And if you want to get into drunken online fights with me, please do, because I'm very lonely. The show is just a ploy for me to make online friends. If you like what we do, you can always support us on Patreon. We got sweaters, we got shirts, and stuff. We also have a Discord you can join if you're part of our Patreon. You can just hang out, chill, and watch me play dating sims on the computer. I love you.